Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we have a question in GraphQL, which is how to do server side in GraphQL. So server side caching in GraphQL can be more challenging compared to traditional REST APIs due to the nature of GraphQL queries. In REST, you can easily cache an endpoint at the HTTP level. But in GraphQL, since it typically uses a single endpoint and the queries can be highly varied, caching needs a different approach. So let's talk about the strategies for server-side caching in GraphQL. And I would say what I did say, it's a good answer in interviews. I guess most probably you will not be asked to do examples, but right now I want to take a deep dive so you will fully understand how the caching work in GraphQL. So first we want to talk about resolver level caching. Okay. So in terms of the concept, cache the results of individual resolvers. Since resolvers are functions that return data for a specific field, you can cache their output. In terms of implementation, so let's just try to put this code here. So we can use a caching mechanism like Redis or Memcache to store the results of resolver execution. The cache key can be combination of the resolver name and its arguments, and as you can see here, it's a way that we can do it because we have the cache, the user ID. We see if we can find it in a cache. Let's assume that this cache is like a reference to a Redis database or something, and if we can find the user, we send it back. Otherwise, we fetch it from the database. Number two, I would say we have the data loader for patch and cache per request. The purpose of this one is data loader is often used to patch requests to the database, but can also cache responses per individual's request. In terms of the implementation, let's just delete this one also. Let's commit this one. In terms of implementation, we could create a data loader for each request and use it in your resolvers. Data loader will cache the result of database calls during single GraphQL query. So this is how it's done here. We have field level caching with the directives. Let's talk about this also. This one, the approach, you defines a custom directive to announce fields that should be cached. The implementation, it will be implement the logic, handle these caching directives in your resolvers, like you can do something like that. And the type, and you have like cache control, and you attach it to it. But since this is not GraphQL, it's a JavaScript, you have error. But if you did it like that, you'll find there's no error. So yeah. Okay, so number 4, you have a schema stitching or federation caching, and I guess this is one of the most popular one. If using a GraphQL gateway like Apollo Federation, implement caching at the gateway level. This allows caching responses from different servers. We have a partial query caching, like you can cache parts of your queries. This is complex but can be effective for repeated nested queries within different higher level queries. We have HTTP caching with persisted queries. Persisted queries store the query server side and reference it with a unique identifier. This allows HTTP level caching mechanism to be utilized. In terms of the implementation, the client sends a query ID instead of the full query. The server fetches the query using this ID, execute it, and can cache the response. We have monitoring and invalidating cache. This is lost. So monitoring keep track of how often data changes and how it impacts your cache. Invalidation, and this one implement the strategies to invalidate the cache when the underlying data changes. In terms of conclusion, server-side caching in GraphQL requires a more granular approach compared to REST. You will often need to mix and match different strategies based on your data access pattern and how your schema is structured. Remember, improper caching can lead to stale data, so it's crucial to have robust invalidation mechanism in place. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problems.